In 1912, Sidonie Gabrielle Colette, a renowned French writer, was involved in a groundbreaking, totally newsworthy romance story. And it all started with her marriage with her editor, Henri de Jouvenel. Colette was Henri's second marriage, and Henri had a son from his previous marriage, named Bertrand. And here's the jazzy fact. People just wouldn't let Bertrand meet Colette until like 8 years after Colette became his stepmother. Probably because Bertrand was like a teenager by today's standard and still had that monkey boy brain, you know, and Colette was a lunatic. A hot, seductive lunatic. And now you know where this story is going. So when the 16-year-old Bertrand met his stepmom for the first time, Colette woke the monkey inside Bertrand. She even gave him a copy of her novel Cherry, which accidentally happens to be about a 49-year-old woman and a 25-year-old man in a romantic relationship. She gave it to Bertrand as a gift, complete with a personal message. My cherished son, Bertrand de Jouvenel. And people wonder why anime romance is so questionable. The Colette and Bertrand case, there's a straight up hentai plot. And sometimes the line between anime and quote unquote anime gets blurry. So every season I usually just pray to God, oh my god, please, just give me a wholesome, no cringe romance without all the unnecessary House of Commons drama. And we got it actually, but more importantly, we get the dynamic duo, Feren and Stark. There's one problem though, that I can summarize in like 2 seconds. Feren is annoying and Stark is dumb. Both are inexperienced, and combine those and you get domestic abuse. And from what we all hopefully also know, love without respect doesn't bring happiness. But oh come on, we want them to be together, and not just together, we want them to be happy. And yes, I want these two totally fictitious anime characters to be happy. But can it happen though? Realistically, if we weigh the positives and negatives, will it mean a happy marriage, a roller coaster of emotions, or worse, a divorce attorney? But before that, this video will probably be titled something like Fixing the Impossible Relationship or something, but just so that we are clear here, it's an exaggeration, of course, and for your own good, we are talking about anime here, and I wanna keep it light, entertaining, but still responsible. Now let's begin, and just like how usually a great story begins, it all started with a mistake. During my extensive research on the topic of how to save Stark from emotional trauma, which just means my late anime watching session, I once again realized, my god, what a virgin. I guess it's just because of how the Frieren series works, it makes the romance journey feel ultra pure, despite of the fanbase and Feren's denial of her perviness. And speaking of Veren, if we compare her with Stark, I think most people will see her as the main problem. Well, dealing with Veren is like dealing with the 2000 era of salty teens, and surely building romance with someone like that will take some bloody ritual, I guess. Or is it? Is Veren the problem? Because if we look at the earliest time they meet, isn't it the other way around? I'm speaking of course about episode 5, the first impression. Look, no matter how innocent and dingus Stark can be, Stark is a god of first encounters. It's like he has the protagonist buff or something. For example, in episode 12, when Feren seeks Stark to ask about his birthday present, Feren realizes that he already made a name for himself in such a short time. In the later chapters of the manga, it even becomes kind of a gag that Stark blazes around helping people so fast that even minutes after he arrives, people are already praising him for building them a town center or something, which also affects Feren and Stark's first encounter, for the better or worse. In episode 5, it was an overall nice first impression. Stark was playing with kids, and it's not like Stark was wearing his pajamas or something, so first mental imagery, first impression, he got, and that positive image lasted for 2 minutes, because no one can fool Frieren. The hero that all villagers hype up is a chicken. Stark's cry for help to Frieren was so dramatic, expectations were shattered, and we get this scene, and again, and again. This is not going to stop, isn't it? But come on, let's not overblow minor details. First impressions matter, and blowing up expectations isn't great, but those things don't always mean suffering, especially when you consider that they will be together for some time after that. And oh yeah, they will need time, because specifically for Feren and Stark, wrong steps in their relationship will mean the highway to hell. So here's one problem. No matter how incompatible Feren and Stark may appear, they are pretty compatible in one, unfortunately, crucial bad thing. No, it's not Feren. Let's just say that separation from each other might mean destroying both. Just think about it. Dating becomes more and more complicated as people get older. For teenagers, for example, the question about dating is really simple. Is he or she hot or not? Or at least whether my eyes can handle it? Which of course, a laughably simple-minded idea. But when you get older, the question is more like, does this person possibly have childhood trauma that leads to a certain defense mechanism that may or may not involve pegging her boyfriend or not?
Because boy, I mean...
In case of Stark, if you watch the anime, Stark's problems are explained clearly. There are actions he really regrets from his past. Running away. He doesn't have the confidence that he can resist running away again, more so in the direst circumstances. But if we look at Farron, we know clearly about her dark past, of course. She lost everything to demons, including her parents, and when she was this close to ending it all, Haita came to the rescue. But of course, the past, all the loss, is forever in her history. How it affects her in a negative way was never really explicitly explained, but we get some clue of it from the manga. And if you think about it through, most of Farron's antics suddenly clicks. Chapter 62. Throughout her journey, Farron acquired a lot of gifts from people. Haita's staff, the Lotus bracelet from Stark, a hair clip from Viren, and probably other stuff as well, and she takes care of them dearly. She explains that, "I lost everything in the war. I think it makes me happy to see my collection of treasured things grow." So all the arduous journey of Farron leave a mark on her, of course. On the positive side, it makes her handle things with care, but on the opposite, it probably, just probably, but really likely, becomes bursts of possessiveness. So when we combine it with Stark, on one side, we have a guy that can't trust himself for being present and not run away when it matters the most, and on the other side, we have a person that has a terrible past of losing everything important to her. Do you see how it connects them? Can you imagine if, for example, Stark finally left on bad terms? It will be a huge hit for both. But on the other hand, when you're tied together, that doesn't always mean you like it. We see it all too often. Not a pretty relationship. But whoa, okay. It's true that someone's past might screw the relationship with others. It's a pretty well-known fact. But there's that word, might. And the last time I watched Viren, the romance was still there, going strong. It's like I'm hiding something. That's because I am. Because if not, this video will be like 2 minutes, and then I have to make it longer by just trusting over Viren's personality. She has not. And what I'm hiding is the turning point. Because after one episode, which for me is like a big spoiler of the romance, only the other's whim can stand against Viren and Stark's love. This is the turning point. Truly, the turning point of Farron and Stark's relationship, because finally, Stark has a tool to see Farron without clothes. By the way, did you realize that Farron gave them both the opportunity to see each other naked? Farron did it with the see-through clothes spell, now Stark has the potion equivalent. Farron totally knows what she's doing. Nah, I'm just messing her out. But yeah, so far in this video, you know the first impression and how Stark crushed expectations to pieces. You're also shown the importance of their past and the risks that come with it. But so far, I also avoid explaining things that I think are obvious, like how they travel together for years with a prehistoric baby means more chance for feelings to bloom, and also physical attractiveness. I mean, just look at Farron, bro. That fridge fashion can't even hide it. But that's not where we're going with this. Talking about the turning point, some might guess that I refer to the dance in episode 15, which people were really happy about. But that's more of an outcome. The trust, the intimacy, when Farron and Stark finally clicks together, the foundation was already there before that. And the most obvious moment, the turning point, Episode 12. So it was Stark's birthday, and after Farron denies Stark of the greatest birthday gift ever from Farron finally gives up on thinking about it herself and just asks Stark what he wants.
You what?
But to her confusion, it turns out that Stark not only didn't remember his own birthday, he also couldn't comprehend why Farron wants to give me a birthday present. And that's when Farron gets the full story, where all the self-esteem problems Stark has mainly stem from, not just from the running away issue, the belittlement, his failure defending what's important for him. And you see, Farron is so underappreciated at moments like this. Yes, Farron and Stark relationship is far from perfect. Both can communicate their thoughts and emotion well enough, but when it truly matters, particularly at moments like this, we know that they will be alright. Thanks to Farron especially, because her response, nothing beats that. We won't let you run away. Let's get you a present. This isn't about love or romance anymore. It's more than that. It's when vulnerability meets acceptance and encouragement. And I'm not talking without proof here. When I have that clicking feeling the instant connection, share and be more candid. When I have a great first date, open up, be more vulnerable. Wanna spice up old love? Same thing, be vulnerable. What's better than having someone accept you even with your fears, weaknesses, insecurities? And some people just focus on, ooh, Farron is toxic, she's mad because Stark didn't give her a birthday present. And there you have it. Hi there, Jeffrey here. Thank you. Sorry for the infrequent updates, just that my laptop exploded. But from now, you can expect more long-form videos because thanks to you guys, I can now edit a long-form video without fearing it will kill my laptop. Because it's already dead, and I will still make some videos about Frieren because I still have many ideas about it. But because this is on the Frieren exclusive channel, so I am going to talk about another anime because there are some really interesting anime this season that I really want to talk about. But here's another video on Frieren though, if you're interested, which you are, so come on, tap ahead.